The comms crackled, spitting static, and the clipped tones of Sergeant Alara Vane's voice. Observation Post Alpha, Asis Command. Report status. Corporal Giant surveyed the swirling nebula outside the reinforced viewport. The Serpent's Veil was a watercolor smear of crimson and violet, beautiful and utterly terrifying. 3 months. 3 months they've been stuck orbiting this backwater system on the fringe of explored space, guarding against something. Nobody knew exactly what, just potential hostiles. Potential hostiles that paid them in ration boss and existential dread. Observation Post Alpha, all quiet. Sensors picking up standard background radiation. Still no sign of the anomaly. Jan relayed his voice flat. He avoided looking at Lieutenant Rhys, who was hunched over a console, his face illuminated by the flickering screens. Rhys hadn't shaved in 3 days, and the dark circles under his eyes were deepening. Morale on the Argos was in the recycler. Negative contact. Maintain vigilance, Corporal. Command out. The comms cut off. Jan turned to Private Lena Reyes, the medic, who was meticulously cleaning their equipment. Anything interesting in the med bay? Lena sighed. Just another case of space sickness and a splinter. The usual. He nodded, a hollow laugh escaping his lips. The Argos was a patrol vessel, a hulking grey sentinel designed to protect Terran colonies. It wasn't supposed to be a glorified space clinic. Suddenly, a piercing alarm tore through the relative silence of the observation post. Red lights pulsed, and the ship shuddered. Report. Rhys barked, jolting upright. He looked frantic, the exhaustion momentarily forgotten. Unknown energy signature. Approaching rapidly. It's disrupting our senses. The sensor operator, a young woman named May, stammered, her fingers flying across the console. On the main view screen, the nebula shimmered, distorting as if seen through heat haze. Then it coalesced into a shape, vast, geometric, and utterly alien. It was like a city made of light, drifting silently towards them. "What is that?" Rhys whispered, her voice laced with fear. "I don't know," Rhys said, his voice tight. "But it's not on any database. Weapons ready." The alien structure slowed, then stopped, hovering just outside the Argos' defensive perimeter. It didn't emit any visible weapons, yet the ship's systems were reacting violently. Shields flickered erratically, and internal gravity fluctuated. "It's jamming our systems," May cried. "We can get a lock." "Try healing them," Rhys ordered, his voice strained. "Open a comm channel. Use universal translator." Giant initiated the hail. A moment of static, then a voice, or rather, a series of complex tones, echoed through the ship. The universal translator struggled, piecing together fragments of meaning. The citizen welcome Eve, the message was disjointed, almost childlike, but the underlying tone was unmistakable warning. "They want us to leave," Giant translated. "They's not exactly friendly." Before Rhys could respond, the alien structure pulsed with a blinding light. Internal systems crashed completely. The ship lurched violently, throwing crew members from their stations. Giant slammed against the console, pain exploding in his arm. When he opened his eyes, the observation post was a scene of chaos. Sparks flew from damaged consoles and alarms blared. Rhys was struggling to his feet, his face pale. "Report!" he yelled, his voice barely audible above the noise. "Shields are down to 20%. Life support is failing in sections 3 and 5. "We's blind, Lieutenant. We can see anything beyond the hull." Rhys took a deep breath, trying to regain control. "Damage control teams, report to your stations. Raise, assess casualties. Giant with me. We need to figure out what that thing is and what it wants." They made their way to the bridge, navigating through the injured and disoriented crew. The bridge was a disaster. The main view screen was blank, and the navigation console was dark. "We's adrift," Giant observed, "and we's vulnerable." Rhys stared out at the blackness, his expression grim. "They's not attacking us. They's just isolating us. It's like they's showing us they could destroy us, but they's choosing not to. Maybe they's trying to communicate," Giant suggested. Rhys considered this for a moment. "Perhaps. But I don't like it. It feels like a trap." Suddenly, a voice crackled through the comms. It wasn't a voice from the Argos. It was a soft, melodic tone, speaking in perfect universal standard. "Greetings, Terrans." Rhys froze. "Who's there?" "I am a representative of the architects." "Architects? What do you want?" Rhys demanded. "We have been observing your species for some time. We are curators of this region of space." "Curators? Of what?" "Of potential. Of nascent life. of possibilities, and what does that have to do with us? The architect's voice was calm, almost gentle. You have reached a critical juncture. Your species stands at a precipice. You possess the capacity for both great creation and great destruction. What are you saying? Your technology has outstripped your wisdom. You are like children playing with fire. And he's going to teach us? Giant asked, skeptical. The architect's voice resonated with an almost melancholy quality. We offer guidance, a path, but the choice remains yours. What's the catch? Rhys asked, his eyes narrowed. There is always a price, Terran. Knowledge demands sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice? The architect paused. A memory. A single, insignificant memory. A moment that defines you, that drives you, that makes you who you are. Giant felt a cold dread wash over him. You want to steal our memories? Not steal. Borrow. We need it to understand your motivations, your fears. To guide you. Return it when the lesson is learned. Rhys looked at Giant, then at Rhys. He saw the fear and confusion in their eyes. He knew this was a test, a gamble, a desperate attempt to avert a looming catastrophe. And if we refuse? Rhys asked, his voice tight. The architect's voice remained calm, unwavering. Then you continue on your path, blind to the consequences. The universe does not judge, Terran. It simply observes. Rhys took a deep breath. He looked at the faces of his crew, at the wreckage of their ship. He thought of the countless lives that depended on them. We accept, Rhys said, his voice low and resolute. We accept your terms. The architect's voice resonated with approval. Very well. The process will begin now. A wave of tranquility washed over the ship. The alarms fell silent, and the flickering lights stabilized. But in the depths of Rhys's mind, a single memory began to fade. A memory of his father, a decorated pilot who had died protecting a Terran colony. A memory that had fueled his every action, his every ambition. He blinked, a sense of disorientation gripping him. He felt empty. He wasn't sure why, but he felt a profound sense of loss. He looked at Giant and Rhys, but their faces seemed distant, unfamiliar. What just happened? He asked, his voice wavering. Giant stared back at him, his expression unreadable. You volunteered, Lieutenant. You made a deal with the architects. We all did. Rhys looked at his hands, then at the vast, uncaring void outside the view door. He felt like a stranger, in his own skin, adrift in a universe he no longer understood. The Argos asterisk was still intact, still functioning, but something fundamental had been lost. The architect's voice echoed one last time in his mind. The lesson begins now, Terran. Remember, all choices have consequences. And silence. Total and absolute. The Argos asterisk drifted onward, lost in a cold darkness, carrying a crew irrevocably changed, and the future shrouded in uncertainty. The void waited.